All right, so today we're going to get into a little bit about the front rack. Basically, kind of why it's important to have a really nice and open and strong front rack position in terms of doing most of the overhead movements like the press, push jerk, split jerk, and how it's affected if you have a poor front rack position. So if you can see right here, I've kind of drawn out a diagram. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this dotted line represents the midline of both figures. This would be your good figure. This would be your bad figure, of course. As you can see, this frontal plane here, so dissecting the body just in half, this guy is lined up completely straight. He's got his elbows up. He's going to be able to press that bar and keep it as close as he can, or very, very close to that frontal plane, which is, as you know, maximizing efficiency, maximizing strength. If he doesn't have, or if she doesn't have good front rack position, I usually see people ending up more like this, where you're having to kind of curve that body out and around to overcompensate for bad mobility in the front rack. Okay, the reason why people do that is to try to get those elbows up as far as they can. So if they can't move the elbows from here to here, they overcompensate by moving the body from there to there, right? And what that does is it pushes the weight to your toes. It gets your back in this weird, awkward overextension position, and it sets you up for, one, a weaker movement, and two, possibly injury, right? So we want to get you from here to here, being able to do a couple things. One, externally rotate the arm, so putting your bicep up, and then flexing at the shoulder, so flexing the shoulder, externally rotating the arm. If you see, the arm bends slightly outward. That's called the carrying angle. It doesn't bend straight up. So a front rack naturally sits just outside of the shoulder. People kind of vary in lengths just based on their anatomy. So I'm just going to kind of rifle off a few things. Hopefully you'll pick something up that you can incorporate into your routine. First, let's think about the whole system. Let's start with the thoracic spine, then we're going to work through the shoulder, triceps, even down through our forearms and wrist, okay? So when you're thinking about thoracic extension, meaning the thoracic part of the spine, the mid to upper part of the spine, you're usually going to be dealing with one of these guys, right? And you've seen this in past videos, a peanut. It's going to go on either side of your spinal cord down through your erector. So if you line your back up straight across, we're going to be pinning this thing to the ground just like so. I'll show you real quick. Peanuts on the ground. It's kind of hard to get it right in the middle. Might take you a try or two. Right? And we're going to be putting all our weight on it. Does it feel good? No. Does it work? Definitely, because it digs in really deep and it kind of opens you up. Now it's important to stay neutral here and not let that rib cage kind of ride up right there, because that's not an advantageous position when you're overhead. This is an advantageous position, right? We want to keep that structure very similar. Next up, after you kind of get that thoracic spine a little bit more mobile, think about your lats. So the lats are the strip of muscle that range from your armpit and go all the way down the side of your body, kind of more back towards your back side of your body. And what those are going to do, if they're tight, they're going to pull you here. If they're tight, they're not going to allow you to work up into this nice healthy position. So taking a foam roller, and I won't show you this, but rolling from all the way down on back towards the bottom of your rib cage, all the way through to the sides of your shoulder blades. You'll feel some sticky stuff, some spicy stuff up here, but this is great to kind of unlock those lats. Now, kind of your more basic positions that you've seen. One of the ones that we use a lot in class is something I got from K-Star, and it's your basic front rack position. So now we're going to be kind of working more into that external rotation, kind of getting more into our triceps. So put the band like so, pop it over the back of your wrist. I put it between the index and middle finger. Again, keep your rib cage down, keep your stomach tight. We're just going to come up and over, tight. I'm going to walk out, put a lot of tension on the band. I'm going to turn my palm up, and I'm going to let that band work my elbow back, okay? And as you notice, I'm not overextending, I'm staying tight, and I'm really trying to keep that same position that I would on the front rack position, okay? I'd say, you know, a minute per side. Once you're done with that, you can take a barbell. There's a few things you can do with the barbell. One, you can get into more of that forearm and kind of unglue some of that work with the edge of the barbell, the part that rotates. So I'm just going to kind of mash it out and grind down, right? And you might feel some tight stuff. If your fingers are doing this, you know that you're pretty tight. If you're sitting on the computer all day, hunched over, you're going to tighten up. So work it through. It's just kind of like a massage. Doesn't hurt that bad, right? Each side. Once you're done with that, kind of make your way back to the middle of the barbell, okay? Right in the middle here, I'm going to glue or unglue my elbow. So I'm going to put it right on top of the elbow. That's where the tendon of the tricep kind of inserts into. Palm out again. And I'm just going to crank it down, pressing into the bar, just like that. And I can roll out. And then, more importantly, roll all the way in, right? And you might get some spicy stuff with this one too, okay? Now, once you've done all that, one of my favorites, and you know, one that probably hurts the most when I first started kind of ungluing my front rack is the double bar stretch. So you're going to have a bar on the rack. You're going to have another bar up on your back. And here it's going to pretty much force you into that position. You want to keep a hold on that bar if you can. If not, you might have to go to the fingertips. But if you can, clamp down on that bar because that's what we're going to be using for like an overhead jerk or overhead press. Now, one elbow, two elbow, and then I'm going to think about locking my stomach down, keeping my rib cage down, and I'm just going to kind of bend my knees and sink into it. Right? Just enough. And let gravity do the work. Again, you'll feel this all the way back into your shoulder blades, kind of opening everything up, spreading everything out, and that's what we want. So I would try to do this for about 2 minutes. Accumulate 2 minutes. You might not be able to do 2 minutes straight at first, but you know, this once or twice a day had really showed me the most benefit. And one more, we've got this PVC pipe over here, and really going along the lines of getting that external rotation, you're going to take that PVC pipe. We're going to go just outside the shoulder blades, palms in, okay? I'm going to get down on my knees. I'm going to get my elbows as close as I can together. So to do that, a cheat here is to kind of go this way. Place my elbows down, and then I'm going to crank open just like that. And what I want to do is put my head through and just kind of hang out there. And if you've got a friend with you, he can help kind of scoot your elbows in or scoot your hands out. And again, just hang out. Try to get your knees back. Straighten your back out. Head through. And just sit there. Okay? And that's it. I've pretty much rifled off everything I know in regards to the front rack. Hopefully, again, you've picked up one or two things you can incorporate into your daily before or after workout mobility sessions. See you soon. Bye.